All right, guys, how you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. I figure I come on here and make a quick video. Um, I know the world is in distraught of and conflicted of what's going on with everything, and this is a hard times to actually come together and agree on something, which most of us will not because we're in a society that we're unable to do that at the moment. Now, having to express what happened today with the Charlie Kirk situation, it's sad. I don't advocate for violence. I condone it. I don't think, if you have something in your mind that you should be killed for, because we still have freedom of speech. Let's get that straight. I haven't said that. But also the words that one preaches, advocates, or speaks come with consequences. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you're advocating for an issue that you feel so passionate about. We're in a point in society, time in society, that a lot of buttons are being pushed. And in Charlie's Kirk situation, he was the head of the MAGA movement. He was out there, even though he was in college campuses debating and stuff, he would push buttons and people didn't like it. But people fought towards it with words. He lost some battles, he won some battles, but still, that's what the debating process is. Now, there is a point in time where people will go to the extreme of acting upon the words. So if you poke a bear so many times, that bear is going to fight back. And this is a situation that people can't comprehend, is that whatever fighting words you say or whatever people you put down or support an administration that likes to tear up families or fuck with, people's feelings and money and careers, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think the outcome is? I mean, I hate to tell you, but the outcome is not going to be very good. And in Charlie's case, it was his time for somebody to put him down, because this is what the administration wants. The administration is pushing us to civil war. And Charlie Kirk is the first victim that falls under casualties of war. The MAGAs losing their heads because the left is not having sympathy over one of their own that got shot. But how do you expect us to have sympathy when the right always told us back then, fuck your feelings? Even Charlie Kirk said once that empathy was a waste of time. And now something happens to one of your people, and you expect us to have sympathy, compassion, empathy, when you simply express to us, fuck your feelings. Doesn't feel right, does it? But if Kamala or Biden got shot, I bet you the MAGA would be singing a different tune. Some, but majority. So we need to come down to some sort of compromising deal that we should start carrying as one. This is not exactly a 911 situation, even though coincidentally it falls on almost a pre 911. But we got to get to a turning point that we must come together as Americans, as one, as acknowledging a problem that the United States has. Instead of pointing fingers, instead of being so full of pride that you always got to be right or you're never wrong. There's got to be a time where people can admit, hey, you know what? Kind of agree on you. Maybe this is not such a good thing to say, or maybe this is not such a good thing to do. Compromising, like we used to do back in the 70s, the 80s, that the government compromised with each other. They didn't fight or point fingers, belittle, or act like they were 19-year-old high school mean girls. People talked, they compromised, they had a conversation, whether they agreed or disagreed, but it was a conversation that was decent, normal, American. We no longer have that. I mean, I may lose followers, I may lose friends, I may lose whatever, but you know what? That's fine. That's your critical choice of whether you want to believe a person, listen to a person, follow a person. It's your common right. But again, we need to start compromising as human beings so we can both coexist in this freaking universe that's getting out of control. And let me also state something very clear, and this goes with the religion stuff. Me personally, I'm not a religious person. Okay. I wasn't kidding that I'm half atheist, um, that not Catholic, but I can't think of the word right now because so much stuff is running through my head. Baptist, there you go, Baptist. I don't let religion take over my life. I don't let religion direct me where I'm going. I do believe there's a God, fine. There is somebody, all being up there that we eventually have to meet, but I do not believe in the Bible. I don't believe in churches. I don't believe in religious groups because they are all man made. If I need to speak to God, I can just look up and start talking to him. That's it. I don't have to go to church. I don't have to give money to a pastor or anybody like that. I don't believe that a pastor has to have a better car than me. Because if he has a Rolls Royce and I have a clunky Ford, there's something wrong there. Having said that, the reason why I don't indulge in this religion is because it doesn't, it makes you feel good in some cases, but it really doesn't help out. Like this thoughts and prayers. How many school shootings have we had? One, two, three, four, five. I can lose fingers. And what do we always say? Thoughts and prayers. Doesn't solve anything? No. Does it comfort? It's our comfort words. That makes you feel better, that person, cool. But saying thoughts and prayers after a major shooting doesn't solve anything. What we need to do is we need to start taking action as a community, as Americans, as the people to actually do something about it instead of saying thoughts and prayers. Because honestly, that bullshit is getting too old already. and people who have lost people in the shootings, California, Texas, Uvalde, Colorado, Chicago, Florida, everybody's getting tired. Thoughts and prayers is nice to say, but it really doesn't do anything. It doesn't stop the shootings. Again, compromise. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I have a few things to do overnight. I'm actually working, but I just thought I can come in here, drop in some words, and at least make you understand what's my motivation in all this, because I believe that I think it's time for us to realize that, hey, this is not okay. Violence is not okay. Racism is not okay. Being divided as Americans is not okay. This administration is pushing us towards civil war. That is not okay. And whether you agree or disagree, that's fine. Because we were not meant to disagree all the time. I hope you guys are safe. Be vigilant. Be cordial to each other. And let's try to become one again. Because that's okay.